Hey guys, I'm Dashell Rose here. Welcome back to another video. This one is also another like pop culture, I guess, news related video in a way. I'm gonna be talking about Blue Sky and well, mainly social media in general, and also talk about Mark Campbell and all that in this video. Now, if you guys don't like me talking about this kind of stuff, you guys can click out, because I also do reviews and news. Well, I do news related videos like this, but I do reviews too, and I not only do reviews, but I do let's plays too and all that. But I really want to kind of talk about this stuff, so yeah. But you guys can also, if you guys can, please subscribe to my channel. I am trying to get to 1K subs. If we can get to 1K subs, I will give you guys a super reward video. I don't know exactly when it will come, but I promise you guys it'll come. Because it might take me a little while to get it set up. And I might even do some reward videos for you guys, even when I get to 600 subs and all that. Which we're getting closer. But I guess, that's all I really have to say for my introductions. So, now let's go ahead and get into this. So, yeah, I want to talk about this. Now, I know many people have talked about Mark Campbell. I know it's kind of an overdone topic, but so are a lot of the things. But honestly, personally, in my opinion, I kind of want to talk about not just him, but a lot of famous people. See, you guys know how, you guys know a lot of these famous actors and all that, a lot of these are famous faces, like, from like Hollywood and all. You might know them from Hollywood, or like, they could be YouTubers or something like that, like Phantom Strider or Pie Guy Rules or something, like that, which I guess Pie Guy Rules isn't really uploading anymore, but he was also famous and all that, But then there's the whole thing where like if you, basically you can get, like, you can meet your idols and all that, and they turn out to be kind of not the greatest. That's kind of what's happening here with, like, Mark Campbell and a lot of these celebrities and all that. Basically what's happening here is, so you guys know, obviously Trump got elected in the office. He was re-elected to become president. He was re-elected. And all that, and a lot of people are not happy about that. A lot of people, though, I believe, because I'm sure that are like me, they probably, because I'm gonna say it, I voted for Trump. I don't like all his decisions. I didn't really like the last president either, but I'm like, you know what, instead of being censored, because we were getting censored online and all that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna vote for him. I don't really care who people vote for. I really don't care. Yeah, I can maybe affect the country in a good or bad way, But I'm like, I just don't really care, like, who people vote for. The issue I'm having here, though, is a lot of these people, Mark Campbell and all that, are, like, going freaking haywire and nuts over this shit. Now, Mark Campbell, I think he's always been a Democrat. Like, he's always been a Democrat. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm kind of in the middle, but I know there are Republicans and Democrats. I think Mark Campbell has been a Democrat. He's been one for a long time, which, I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind if people are Republican or Democrats. Like I told you guys before, I don't really care. I mean, I'm kind of just like, I really didn't want to vote. I just wanted to get my, my dad off my ass and all that about this stuff, because I'm like, I'm technically still living with him, because, situations behind the scenes, like the dog and all that, which was preventing me from getting a job, because they wouldn't let me get one, because I guess I was not supposed to leave my dog home by myself, even though, they'd done it before, but I don't know. But, but even houses were kind of expensive, too. Crap was going up, like, it was going up and all that, and, See, what's happening over on Blue Sky, and, you know, this is with Threads, too. Threads is kind of like this, too. There are people literally throwing hissy fits because fucking Trump is in office. People are literally throwing hissy fits. And I'm like, okay, if you guys want to have your own opinion, that's fine and all, but I feel like people are going a little too overboard with this stuff. It was kind of like that with Biden, too. People were kind of, you know, like that with Biden, too. It wasn't as toxic, though. I don't think it was as toxic. But then there's times, though, where I feel like you can get a little too carried away with this stuff and all that. And that's kind of what's happening with this stuff is like, apparently if you vote for Trump, you're basically a horrible person. That's what it feels like, you know. It's like you're a horrible person. And people are freaking running, like, some people are running their mouth. Not everybody, I'm just saying, some people are running their mouth on social media and saying that you know, screw Trump supporters and all that, and this and that, and we also are getting a lot of, you know, ugly, you know, creepy, you know, art. Hell, there's fucking one I saw, I don't know, this is very weird, I saw, like, somebody post a freaking AI of Trump, like, looking like, I think, Garfield? Like, he looks like freaking Garfield and all that. Like, it's very, very weird. And he, like, inflates his belly and all that. That's, like, freaking weird. Like, that is just weird. And that's the thing, it's weird. And these are people that are, by the way, that are calling out Trump and saying he's this horrible person and this pedophile. And I'm like, you guys are posting this stuff online. That makes you guys look like the pedophiles, you know? It does. It kind of, it's just weird. Like, it is just weird. Like, again, like, I have nothing wrong with people voting the way they want to and all that, like, but, like, when people are getting this carried away with this crap and posting weird imagery of Trump and all online, it's just freaking weird. It is weird. But it is weird and all that. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, too, like, I'll tell you, like, Blue Sky and all that. Blue Sky is kind of in the situation with this, you know, like, kind of like, you know, what's funny is, like, again, just like, people calling Trump a freaking pedophile and a creep and all that, and then posting these weird, weird shit online. People on Blue Sky basically left freaking Twitter because it was too toxic, and then they're going to freaking Blue Sky and it is just weird. Like, it is just freaking weird and all that. And you're not allowed to, again, like, they do not want Trump supporters on there. They do not want him on there. I notice they're not blocking people as bad, but they do get very toxic with that stuff. Like, I told you guys, I got blocked by freaking Phantom Strider. I'm pissed about that. I'm like, I thought we were friends and all that. Like, we weren't, like, close friends, but, like, I would post on stuff. I was even included in his videos, you know, and all that. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I was. Like, I wasn't, like, I didn't do collabs with him. I like to do some collabs with some YouTubers. That'd be kind of nice. But, I wasn't, like, you know, like, in his videos, but, like, I was mentioned and all that, like, in some of his videos. Like, he did, like, I think a video on, like, what was it, like a top 10 hated stores or something? And I was actually, you can see my profile from Twitter, or I guess X as it's called now, because for some reason Elon changed it to X. I don't know why he didn't just keep it Twitter, but I don't know. But yeah, basically, I was included in his videos, and like, you can see me in a few of them. Like, you can see my profile and all that. Like, it kind of looks similar to, you know, my YouTube one, you know. Actually, I think it looks exactly like it. Like, you can literally see me in there and all that. Because I use the me character. But the thing is, though, is, like I said, like, things were starting to get kind of bad and all that. Because he was starting to kind of talk about, you know, again, like, about Trump and all that. And I'm like, the guy lives in freaking Australia. Why the hell is he worried about freaking Trump? He doesn't even live in the freaking U.S. I don't understand. Like, it's like me obsessing over, like, North Korea or something, or a freaking Australia government, which I've heard there is some problems with that, you know. But I'm like, I'm not going on freaking social media worrying about another country, you know. I mean, I do feel bad for some of these countries that are strict rules, but I'm not going on there, like, obsessing over that, you know. It's just weird. It's weird. But I was trying to explain, like, I wasn't being toxic or anything. I was just trying to explain, like, that I don't agree with, like, well, I don't agree with, you know, I don't think, like, well, I mean, Trump's done some, like I said, some questionable stuff, he's out there, like, you know, rambling on about, running his mouth about other countries and all that, and this and that, and I don't necessarily agree with him on the whole LGBTQ stuff, like, banning it completely. Yes, I don't think it needs to be taught in schools, but there's nothing wrong with having, you know, gay people and all that, and, I mean, parades, you know, they can have parades too, like, I mean, parents are, like, saying that could corrupt their children. I'm like, you don't have to take your children to the damn parades. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be taking them to your parades, you know. I'm like, you just keep them at your house, you know. If they're on TV, just turn the channel to something else, or, I guess, wouldn't be cable anymore. I mean, I don't know, just do something else. I mean, take your kids to go get an ice cream or something. I don't know, like, again, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but, like, I mean, but yeah, I definitely think, you know, teaching this crap to kids and all that, you definitely don't need to be doing that. Like, that's like taking, like, it's basically, especially transgender stuff, you do not need to be teaching it to kids. Now, I'm also on the fence about, you know, like, getting transitions when you're younger. Like, now, I understand, like, people struggle with their gender and all that. The issue is, though, it's not very easy to change back and all that, too. But again, I don't think parents need to be worrying about other, you know, people's problems and all that, or, like, not problems, like, I shouldn't say it like that, you know, just stuff, you know, like, you know, it's just like people shouldn't care, you know. It's like, I mean, I haven't really watched this show yet. I want to actually watch it in the future and do a review for you guys, but there's this show called I Am Jazz. I hear it's actually pretty good. It has a transgender, girl in it, or a transgender girl or transgender boy. Like, how would you say that? It's basically a boy that gets turned into a girl. But I don't know, like, I don't know how it's kind of confusing. It's like the way they say it, but, like, is it transgender? I think it'd be a transgender boy, right? I don't know. It's a transgender person. We'll just say that. But I hear it's actually pretty good, and I actually do want to review it in the future. But I actually already have a TV show I'm going to review for you guys here down the road. I do have one planned. But I'll have to wait on reviewing it, and because I don't know where I gotta have my scoring system and all that, but my thing is, though, with this whole thing, though, is I'm kind of getting off topic here, but my whole thing is, too, with this stuff is, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with everything that happens either, but, and like I said, Trump, you know, doing all this stuff, like, banning stuff and all that, like, I don't agree with all that stuff, but I mean, a lot of shit they're blaming him for, fucking, you know, the last president did the same thing, you know, like they're blaming him about the fucking prices. I mean, a box of cereal was almost $8 the last time, you know, we had we had Biden in office. It was fucking almost $8. I'm sure they'll try to blame COVID for that, but I'm like, it shouldn't have been going up and up, though, because COVID, yeah, it lasted like a few years, but it was basically, they had an antidote for it and all that, you know, in 2021, you know, and all states shut down in 20, you know, they shut down then. So, like, it doesn't make sense for the stuff to keep going up. And then the same thing with phones. Like the phones were, you know, I mean, phones are not cheap now either, but my point is, you know, phones were going up, you know, before that, and, I mean, to get a new freaking cell phone, but by the way, these phones don't work well a lot of times at all. Like, I have my new phone here, and although it's not the brand new one, it has way more problems than this one, because they are freaking pushing all this AI crap and all on the phones. But, I mean, I don't know if this one would have a lot of it, because, you know, AI wasn't really becoming more of a thing till later, but I'm having more problems on it than this one, and I was told to, like, upgrade my phone. And they were like, and at the AT&T store, they were trying to tell me that I need to spend, like, I can spend, like, I could trade this other one in, but I'm like, if you want to buy a new phone, like you want to buy a new phone, so let's just say, like, if you can't trade it in, because there's possible abilities to, like, maybe your phone got dropped, you drop it in the river, or a pond, or something, and you can't find it, or something, or it gets stolen, which, I mean, to be fair, with a stolen phone might be a little bit harder, but they want to charge you like freaking $2,000 for that. And to trade it in, I could trade this in and all that, or I could just sell it. But freaking, they told me I get like a freaking dollar on that. And I'm like, hell no. I'm not giving you guys a freaking dollar for this phone. I'm not doing that. I'm like, that's a freaking ripoff. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not. And that shit was under Biden, you know. And I mean, part of it too is, again, you know, companies too. But the food and all that definitely was not the company's fault. It was also Biden and all that too in office, you know, because food was going up. But again, they're trying to blame this on Trump too, and I'm like, yeah, some things are going up and all that too, but they were going up under Biden too, you know. So you can't just blame one and not the other, you know. And that's the problem. And I point that shit out on Blue Sky and all that, and I said again, Phantom Strider fucking blocked me. He blocked me, and I was actually trying to get away from the conversation. The last conversation I had was with that one person and all that. I was just like, let's talk about something else, you know, because I'm trying to, like, get away from the conversation. Because I don't want to talk about politics on the channel. And that's what he was starting to do. Like, a lot of his posts were just becoming, you know, all that. And apparently his new video is going to be about something about, I don't remember what the hell it was. It was something about a top 10, something about autism and all that. Like, his videos are have been kind of lacking lately too, and I've been kind of losing interest on him. But apparently a lot of people like him still, because I've seen it online. But I'm like, if you guys go on Blue Sky and all that, he'll be just running his mouth about politics and all that. So it's just like, I mean, he does post other stuff, but he has been getting into politics, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about just politics. Let's talk about other stuff on the freaking platform, you know? I'm not going on freaking Facebook or, you know, freaking Blue Sky or something to talk about freaking politics. I mean, if you want to have a discussion about it, that's fine, but, like, I don't want to just talk about it. And blocking me, like, you know, when I wasn't even doing anything, that just makes you look like a bad person, you know? It's like, you're doing basically what you were trying to run away from, you know? They were trying to get away from freaking, you know, Facebook, Twitter, because it was freaking toxic. But let's be fair here, they got away from it because freaking Elon Musk bought it. Elon Musk was a Trump supporter. I don't think he is anymore. I think he actually doesn't like Trump anymore. I don't know what the heck was going on there. Like I said, I don't really follow these politics things much. I mean, I'll talk about them sometimes, but I don't really follow them much. But I'm just like, I'm like, you know, you basically went away from freaking, you know, Twitter to go to Blue Sky because it was supposedly toxic. I mean, yeah, it was toxic, but I'm like, the reason why I say supposedly is because they basically decided to move away from it when Elon Musk bought it. That's what they did. They basically moved away from it because he bought it, and they're doing the same shit, you know, that they were talking about over there, you know, like, it's gotten toxic. It is freaking toxic over there, like, it is, like, I mean, I'm able to have some conversations, but if it's about politics, they will hate you so much. And like I said, I don't want to talk about politics, but a good chunk of the posts are on politics now. They're just politics anymore. Now, I want to clarify that not everybody on Blue Sky is probably bad. I mean, that's kind of why I had Blue Sky to begin with, because I thought Phantom Strider was a nice guy, you know, but then he started talking about politics and all that, which, again, shouldn't matter because he's not in the freaking country anymore, and then suddenly it's a problem, you know? I don't know, I'm just like, it's confusing, it's a mess. And then you got Mark Hamill and all these other celebrities shitting on people because they can't, you know, vote for a certain way and all that. I'm just like, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous how politics have kind of gotten in the way, you know? And I mean, I care because I want to be friends with some of these people, you know? And even that with Mark Hamill and all, I'm like, I loved watching him growing up. You know, he played some roles. Like he did Star Wars. You know, he did Star Wars, and I didn't watch the movies a ton, but I also known him from like voice acting. Like he voiced one of the characters on SpongeBob. Like this is like a season 5 episode called, I think it's called Nightlight. I think is what it's called. Yeah, he voiced a character there. He's voiced, you know, some roles and like in Danny Phantom, he did the voice of like he did the voice of one of the characters there. Like I think it was the Vine guy. I forgot I think his name was Undergrowth or something like that. He's done some voice acting and all that, but that's the thing. He was a famous actor and all, and he even does the Joker too. But I don't really know Batman super well. I need to watch Batman too. I need to do that. But he's done a lot of roles and all that, and that's the thing though, is in the fact that people don't like him anymore because of how bad he's gotten. And I hear he overcharges people for autographs. I'm just like, it's ridiculous, It's ridiculous and all that. And he's become kind of like, he's basically become like the Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. He's just become a sad old man, who basically has given up on life pretty much. That's pretty much what he's become. And all that. And that's not a good thing, because that Luke Skywalker on Star Wars sucked. And all that. Like, I'm sure it probably wouldn't have sucked as bad if he was actually in character. Like, he was definitely not in character. Luke Skywalker would have never gave up on, on people and all that. And then, he actually was the one who, helped Vader, see the light side and all that. He saw good in him. And then the Last Jedi, they completely rewritten his character and all that. And it just felt like he lost his character growth, And that's kind of how it is here, and all that. And I just want to clarify, too, like, I don't want people to quit watching this stuff because of this. Like, I think people can still enjoy this stuff. I mean, yeah, it might be a little harder to enjoy, content like this, but I don't know, there's so many crummy celebrities out there, and so many crummy people, like, I think, I don't know, I feel like for me, and since I've had, I don't know, maybe other people, but for me, though, I kind of still watch this stuff, because I kind of just drown out the noise in the real world, and kind of just try to enjoy a cartoon or something, and have fun with it, Even if I don't agree with what people say and how toxic some of these people are, I know it sounds crazy, but again, I'm like, I mean, I don't really watch a lot of the newer stuff anymore because I don't really want to support a lot of these people, but I don't want it to stop watching the older stuff, because, I'm like, I still want to enjoy, watching, these older shows. Even though a lot of these celebrities are freaking bad and all that, I still don't want to quit watching these shows, like, I still want to, be able to watch these shows and have a fun time. But that's the thing, though, too, is I just feel like, it is like, especially Star Wars and all that, people are kind of, boycotting, even the older stuff because of people like Mark Hamill and all in there, and some of the stuff he's been saying. And not just him, like, there's been problems, I think, with Harrison Ford. I don't know much about politics, but I do know, like talking about how he kind of didn't really like his character and all that, and the movies and all that, and it's just people kind of look back at this stuff and, like, realize how bad these people are and all that. But I still don't think you should, like, let it take away you from the stuff either, Even if it's hard, like, that's kind of how I am. I mean, I've been dealing with a lot of crap and all that, and even my old videos, I still go back and watch them. Not YouTube stuff, this is like before that. I still go back and watch some of my older videos I've taken on my, DSs and all that, because I try not to let it, I try to still enjoy something, That's the thing, though, too. It's just kind of crazy again how politics are kind of changing something too. It's just changing a lot of people. But I will say this too. I will say also there's been a lot of people trying to leave Hollywood. I actually made a video about that. It turns out a lot of these people are not even leaving. Like they're not leaving the U.S. in general. They're actually just staying around. A lot of people are talking about wanting to do that. I guess my mom was like that too. She was like, I'm actually at her house right now, so she doesn't hear me saying this, but I'm like, I think it's stupid, but she was talking about wanting to leave the country because of, Trump getting elected again and all that, and I'm just like, I'm like, fine, you can leave the country and all that, but I'm like, you can leave the country, but then, I'm like, basically, I don't know, it's basically like, I mean, you don't have to like the president and all that, but I'm like, again, a lot of the shit they're talking about him doing a lot, the last president was accused of doing some of this stuff too, Again, like price jacking and all that, and I mean, hell, the guy didn't even know where he was at. I mean, that was obvious. Like, you watch his debates and all that, and all that. And I mean, I don't know. I haven't really been watching a lot of speeches from Trump, but I've heard some people saying he kind of is like all over the place too. But I mean, but yeah, but still, I mean, I'm still like I said, I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't care. I don't really care about politics. I don't even know if I'm gonna vote the next time. I'm like, I don't really know if I want to vote. I'm not really wanting to vote, really. I'm just like, I mean, no matter what I do, I feel like I'm just gonna get, shit on and all that with stuff. But I'm just like, I mean, I mainly did it because I said my dad, was, and all that. And personally, I mean, I'm kind of like, I should probably have just been like, I mean, I didn't think Trump was gonna win. I'm just gonna say that I didn't think Trump was gonna win. I thought Kamala Harris was gonna win, and all that. But I was like, I wanted to vote, so I had an opinion, because I'm apparently not allowed to have an opinion for voting. But you're also not allowed to have an opinion, apparently, if you vote a freaking certain way, so, I don't know. I don't freaking know anymore, but yeah, I mean, I don't really care for Trump either. I'm not lying. I don't really care for him either. I would have loved to have a different president in the United States, but I also don't want to have, a woman, who's Kamala Harris and out there running her mouth about, about the economy being better and all when it was not and all either, because it's just, and she was kind of switching up what she was saying too and all that, and they also the media was like, attacking Trump, but not really her and all that. Like they weren't like calling out some of the stuff. Like, I'm not saying you should be attacking people, but I'm just like, again, like even watching ABC News when they were doing the debates, I'm like, they should have been like, when Kamala Harris was talking about the economy, they should have been like, I'm like, the economy wasn't the best under Biden and all that. Like how do you plan to improve the economy or something like that? They should have like asked those questions, but they were just asking Trump about the questions. They weren't really asking her, which made the debates kind of painful. I mean, they're still bad anyway. They're bad because I don't know. It's just basically two old fossils just fighting back and forth. It's just two old fossils fighting. It's like a married couple just fighting. Speaking of married couple, there were some weird artwork of that online too. I saw that when they were going at it with each other. Like there was some of that too, but I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I don't care who people vote for. I'm just like, I mean, just don't be censoring people and shitting on them because of how they vote or what their opinions are. It's just ridiculous. And I mean, yeah, I voted for Trump, but I don't know if I would consider myself a Trump supporter, because I don't really support everything he's doing, but I guess I do support some of the stuff he's doing. Like I do think like the prices are going down and all that, and I do feel like, I mean, I hate to say this, but I do kind of think cutting like pennies and all that might be I mean, I don't want to say, I think having pennies around would be nice, but I do agree they do cost a lot of money, and I think he is trying to cut costs and all that with stuff, even in countries. I don't agree with how he's doing it either, but again, I'm like, at least he's trying to do stuff. But again, I'm not saying he's doing it always the right way, but I don't know. But I'm just like, again, I don't know. I'm just like, he'll be in office for 4 more years, and then like, I don't know. And then he'll be gone and all that, but that's kind of why I wanted to vote too, because I'm like, once he's out of office, then, maybe this freaking online crap will die down a bit, That's kind of why I wanted to vote for him too. I mean, I know it sounds crazy. I'm like, there's always going to be drama online, but this stuff's like really bad drama. Like, it's really bad. Like, it's really bad. And I'm just like, again, I'm just like I said, I don't want people to think I'm a bad person because of how I vote. Because, I mean, like I said, I voted, but, and again, I don't agree with everything he's doing, or even right now, but, like I told you, the LGBTQ stuff, like cutting it completely, I don't agree with that, but I also, want prices to kind of go down too, and some of it's going down, some of the food's going down a bit, but again, we don't know a lot of the effects. We have to wait, about a year to kind of see what's going on before we can judge. But I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and probably let things go from here. And remember, guys, like I said, you guys can have your own opinions, but don't get all like mad at people for who they vote for and all that, because it's just gonna create more drama. I'm trying to warn people, because I'm like, this is gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad if people keep doing this stuff. It's gonna create a riot, is what it's gonna do, a riot, and you don't want a riot. But trust me, like, it's gonna get bad. But I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and let things go from here. I'll see you guys all later. Bye bye.